If you know me or my content, then you've probably noticed that I would characterize myself as more of a competitive player over being a casual player, and that my perspective on Fortnite comes from a particularly competitive worldview when it comes to in-game balance or anything related to the game for that matter. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today I want to dive into the issues and failures of the competitive culture and development with player-run discords and the underdeveloped arena mode in Fortnite. I also have some ideas, one that is rather drastic and a little controversial, so definitely stay tuned for that. But before we dive into my ridiculous mind on the topic, drop a like on the video. It really does help out the channel. I've been getting a ton of support and I definitely appreciate it, and consider leaving me a comment to reply to down below. So what am I saying here? I guess firstly, I'll start by defining what I mean when I say competitive culture and development. As a disclaimer, a lot of what I'm talking about when it comes to competitive culture comes from my perspective of the competitive scene from the NA East region specifically, as that's where I spend the majority of my time as a competitive player. Culture is a word for the way of life or of groups of people, meaning the way they do things. Thus, a game's competitive culture would best be defined by how a game's community operates and conducts themselves in regards to competitive play, player interactions, and practice, i.e. scrim discords. Now, development is a process that creates growth, progress, or positive change. Therefore, competitive development comes from Epic Games. What do they create or develop? What progresses the game in a competitive manner for positive change? Let's start with development and the issues and failures that we've seen from Epic Games in the past. To preface this part of the discussion, I'd like to give credit where credit is due and greatly thank Epic for how they've chosen to develop the game in a casual and competitive way in recent updates. So thank you, Epic, for not putting lightsabers and crazy blasters in arena mode, and finally giving us a strong iteration of separate loot pools for both casual and competitive play. Kudos, this one was a long time coming, but I'm definitely glad to see it. In the past, Epic has been known to develop Fortnite in a very casual sense, adding all types of unbalanced and crazy or just downright broken items to the game with no regard to how it would affect competitive play at all. I know we all remember the planes, the mechs, and the Infinity Blade. However, one thing they did develop was absolutely crucial for growth in a positive way, and that was the arena mode. Arena was announced on March 25th, 2019, and was a crucial development that changed the way the competitive community practiced the game, leading to custom arena scrims over the previously used Discord scrim snipes. The failure of this development is that -1 change to the format and point scaling, Arena has remained unchanged and is now underdeveloped, impacting the game negatively due to the residual effect that it had on the competitive culture of the competitive scene. Now, let's dive into the issues with competitive culture and player-run discords. To put it simply, player-run discords can't possibly operate as an effective way for practice without issues of human error. I want to be insanely clear on this point. Player-run discords, or in this case specifically, the NA East T1 Scrim Discord and Prac-cord, are not bad. I have nothing against them at all. However, it is impossible for them to operate without human error or interference. There simply just isn't a way for that to happen. They're player run, they have people that operate them. This means everything from players not following zone rules, to sitting in mayhem waiting for the next code, to human egos, trash talk, allegations of gatekeeping, or carrying players to Prac-cord. Again, to put it simply, it's impossible for these discords to operate without these issues because they're simply run by humans. Here's just a couple examples that I found while making this video, and I really wasn't looking, but I was scrolling through my timeline, and there's just too much room for subjectivity, and with how these discords operate, it just has human error in it. It's just the way that it is. So what's the underlying issue here? Players want to practice and prove themselves in an attempt to climb the ranks, but arena mode doesn't quite facilitate that demand because it's underdeveloped, and player-run discords are merely a band-aid, albeit a pretty good one for practice. They are unfortunately riddled with human error and can't possibly operate accurately and efficiently without that issue. Now, this is the part of the video that scares me because I can feel the judgment and comments that could follow. Trust me when I say that this discussion is not fueled by my disdain with the competitive culture in terms of a player's path to Prac-cord. It's much deeper and selfless than that, because I envision a solution that would benefit all players in the competitive community by providing seamless, automated practice for all players without the need for human interference. Here's what I would love to see happen. Arena mode is in a desperate need of a redesign, and after months of theory crafting and planning, I think I have a good idea for what would work for a true ranked mode for Fortnite. Firstly, Arena needs a leaderboard with multiple viewing options, most importantly the highest rated players and the highest point average players. They could design the UI where you could click a name on the leaderboard and be taken to their profile page to view their stats, like matches played, total points, average kills, average points, etc., and so on and so forth. This would provide a very accurate way to view how each player is performing on the ranked ladder, while also incentivizing ranked play by giving the players something to grind for in the leaderboard. To add to this idea, I believe Arena should run in 1 to 2, maybe 3-month seasons where points and leaderboard placings are earned and then reset to keep the competitive ladder fresh, relevant, and grindable. There should also be some form of rank decay or deranking aspect to Arena mode to truly make each rank feel like an accomplishment, as well as seasonal rewards, banner icons, skins, and maybe emotes or something like that for players to work hard and achieve each season. This would be a game changer for automated grindable practice that feels rewarding and can physically be like tangible, readable, and seen. Now here's the controversial part of today's video. In my opinion, in order for this Arena 2.0 idea to work, Epic needs to remove custom games from Arena mode. Hear me out. This would infuse a large amount of players into Arena, making the match quality go up, the queue times would go down, and it would remove a lot of the human error issues found within scrim discords, such as like needing to wait and sit around for custom match codes, breaking lobbies, or just not, getting into games. With strong matchmaking, games would feel very competitive at primetime practice hours, and again, the queue times would go down because there would be more players actually playing. Think back to the start of Chapter 2. Arena was insanely hard because players were actively participating and trying because they needed to reach Champion League. I also have an idea for non-primetime hours where the queues can be expected to be a little bit longer. Hypothetically, Epic could set matchmaking logic to change at say like 5 minutes in queue, to then open up the matchmaking and allow higher or lower skill rated players to be filled into one match. While the match quality may go down a bit, at least you aren't waiting like 10 plus minutes to find a game, and to make things fair, the bottom 25% of players in said match could either be given a point multiplier for playing in a higher skill lobby, or they could simply have their bus fare waived. This would help create more matches without hurting lower skill players who still want to climb and grind up, and without punishing high rated players with insanely long queue times. I just imagine a day where I can hop on, party up with my duo, queue up, and be able to practice and grind for seasonal rewards without having to rely on discords, game hosts, and hoping someone in the game follows these hypothetical rules. You'd be able to just play game after game, doing your best while adding to your stats and placing on the leaderboard, while chasing some cool in-game rewards, right? I'm talking to you, Epic. Competitive battle royales are unique. I come from Halo, COD, and Gears of War, where practice was simple. You'd have 2 teams, you would join a custom match, and you'd press play. But BRs are a totally different monster, and the amount of time wasted sitting in overly long queue times or just waiting for a custom code can actually be combated. Over the past 2 years, Fortnite has been constantly evolving, and I see this as the next evolution of the game. So those are my thoughts on the issues and failures within the competitive scene, my ideas on how to fix them and evolve the competitive side of Fortnite to the next stage. But I pass it to you. This is a controversial one, so let me know if this is a good idea, a bad idea. Leave me a comment down below. I'll do my best to reply. As always, thanks for checking out the video. Please don't leave without leaving a like. I appreciate it again, and I'll see you on the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earth?